story, Jesus turns up, and he turns up for the Feast of Tabernacles. And here they are, 5 porches of invalids, of lame people, of sick people lying around, waiting, hoping, wishing that they would be healed. Because what happened was, the Pool of Bethesda, it had an underwater spring. When that spring would bubble, the waters would overflow. And that would happen once every, maybe not even once every year. But the person that would get in the pool first when that happened would be healed. So can you imagine? There are people, multitudes of invalids, lying down there, wishing, hoping that they would be the one that would get in that pool. Do you know how frustrating it would be? One guy, the Bible says, was there for 38 years. How frustrating it would be for 38 years to be looking at a future that you can't touch, to be looking at a healing that you can't reach. 38 years. I mean, what was his perspective on life, lying on his back? I wonder whether his parents would bring him here when he was first born, and then I'd wonder whether they just kind of dropped him off as he got older and just waited and thought, maybe this will be the day, maybe this will be the day. 4 decades of his life, just about, was spent on his back, hoping that he would be healed. A lot of us, metaphorically speaking, come to church, but this is where we're at in our life. We're lying on our back, our perspective is skewed, and we wish that we could be the ones that would be healed in that pool. We wish we could be the ones that the sermons would apply to. We wish we could be the ones that there would be healing, but somehow we're just still stuck on our back week after week, month after month, year after year, and then we get there and it's 4 decades later and nothing's really changed. We're on our back. And the Bible says that there was multitudes and they were each gathered around their infirmity, because have you ever noticed that misery loves company? And so you're not going to sit there on your own. You tend to attract people that are just like you. Have you noticed that? I've been in church life now for 3 decades, and you notice all of the naysayers, all of the negative people, they find each other. It's like a magnet. They just find each other and sit together. All the gossipers, they just find each other and they're all in the same section. The Bible is full of people that we don't know their names. We just know their issues, because people with issues prefer to be accepted rather than changed. They want to be affirmed rather than changed. They want to be comforted in their misery rather than changed. They want to be enabled rather than changed. And you see it. You see people eventually get their identity in their condition. Well, this is just how I am. This is just what it is. And my whole identity is framed around whatever issue. Be healed. So Jesus turns up to the one. Can you imagine what that would have looked like on social media? Jesus ignores all the rest of them. Oh, doesn't Jesus have compassion? What about all the rest of them? The Bible says he went up to one. And then not only that, he didn't get down and go, oh, you poor little man. You poor thing. I know it's so hard. And I know that you've just been so oppressed. I know it's just so bad. And you're lying here. And I'm just going to lie here with you. And we're just all going to lie together, and we're going to start a hashtag, and we're going to go on Twitter, and we're just going to tell everyone how bad it is to be lying by the pool. I just feel you. I just affirm you. Let's just stay here together. That's not the Jesus of the Bible. I don't know what Bible you're reading, but Jesus actually would have been kicked out of most churches' pastoral care teams. Jesus would have been fired, because Jesus turns up to the dude and he says to him, hey mate, that's the Australian version. Hey mate, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be healed? In the Greek, that means, do you want to be made whole? Because there's a lot of people that would prefer to lie on the mat rather than be made whole. What Jesus was saying to him was, do you want to accept the responsibility that comes with healing? See, it's a lot easier to lie on a mat and remain a victim for the rest of your life, because you expect everyone to feel sorry for you. But there comes responsibility with healing and wholeness. You know, I said to him, famous last words, I look over my shoulder, I went, well, sweetheart, eat my snow. And I put my skis, went down, and about 20 seconds later, I knew I was in extreme trouble. On my second somersault that was not planned, and while I was in midair, one ski went flying off, the other stayed, and I heard the loudest pop, pop, pop that you've ever heard, and I snapped my ACL, tore my MCL, tore my meniscus, and fractured my knee. I did it all. So anyway, I had surgery in Australia. They do a hamstring graft. And the doctor, the PT, comes in after the surgery, and he says to me, Mrs. Caine, he goes, you have a choice here. The kind of injury that you have, it was so severe, if you're a professional athlete, you know, you would more than likely never play professional sport again. He said, but you can recover from this injury. He said, technically, your right knee is now actually stronger than your left knee because of the hamstring graft. But here is the deal. Most people never recover from the kind of injury you've had, not because they can't, but because they won't. Because the pain of recovery is far greater than the pain of the injury. The injury took 1 second to happen, but the recovery is going to take several months for you to come back. Now, you can come back completely or partially. You can come back quickly or slowly. It is entirely up to you. The degree to which you are willing to embrace the pain of recovery is the degree to which you will recover. And the thing that I have found is a whole lot of Christians prefer to stay on the mat, not because Jesus won't set us free, but because you are not willing to embrace the pain of recovery. And if we are willing to embrace the pain of recovery, we would see a life beyond our past.